Hey guys, what it is, it's your girl Kadlac coming through on October the 13th. And today is the 13th day of Vlogtober. Yes, Vlogtober. I know I'm late to the table, but that's okay. I can finish out, this month with vlogs. So I'm going to try to check in with y'all like as much as I can throughout this month. Vlogtober. I don't know if they're doing any type of vlog series during November, but I seen something that said Vlogtober, November, Vlogmas, which is December. So I don't know. I guess we're supposed to be vlogging all throughout this, which would be cool because you know what? Each time you upload a video, that is one more chance that the algorithm would pick your girl up, like for real. So I'm going to try to, participate as much as I can. And vlogs are cool because you ain't got to do all the editing, like for real. Like I be doing too much. I need to take several seats. Too much. But anyway, so let me come through and just catch you up to what I am doing. So y'all know I don't know, what is it, September 11th? Yeah, so September 11th, Marchello actually went to confinement. And it was really bad. It was a lot going on, and it was to the point where he could lose game time because they already got 40 years. Like, baby, we ain't trying to give up no game time. That's the difference from getting out in 2039 and actually getting out in 2042. So, like, we ain't trying to give no more time back. But it was to the situation where he was going to lose some of his game time. And he already lost his visits with me, but this was the point where he was able to reapply. I was able to reapply for visitation because they were saying that I could start reapplying in 6 months, and anywhere from 6 months to a year. Y'all know, if y'all ain't checked that story out, please check it out. I will link it in the description box of how my rights were violated. Like for real, like just going to try to see my husband. That's it. That is my sole goal in going to see him. I'm not trying to do all that side extracurricular activity. Like for real, that's silly. Me, I'm a businesswoman trying to get a business up and running so that I can make some money to actually get my husband home and support ourselves and go head on, with life. Like I am not trying to do all that other extra stuff, like for real. But yet you get grouped into, that category with all the women that are doing that stuff. Like you get like shoveled right into that group. You're a prison wife, so yeah, you're on that stuff. Like, no, I'm not, for real. But anyways, this was the month that he could have, I could have reapplied. And all of a sudden, but it was because he had just said it. I haven't gotten in any trouble. There's no reason that they should deny me. And boom, all of a sudden, some mess went down. I'll eventually fill y'all in with that. But he called me today. Like, really, in my mind, I was like, yeah, whatever. Like, whatever. He'd have lost it. He was finna lose visitation. He already lost visitation with me. But this would have meant that he would have lost visitation with everybody. He couldn't have a visit from nobody, not his daughter, not his mother, not nobody at all for 3 years. Plus he would lose game time and whatever. So I had basically just accepted that because the most always happens, and it's always like, hey, choke that down and just swallow it, and just, this is your new like normal. Like just pick up the pieces, try to gather it up. And it's like, no matter how bad the situation gets as being a prison wife, I try to regroup myself. Yes, I go through it. When it happens, it's like a blow to my head. But I regroup myself and I try to figure out, hey, let's do a new plan. Like I am the queen of plan B, not that plan B. But I am the queen of plan B. Like my plan A don't never work. Like it never works. But quickly when I see something going left and it's just not working right, I quickly know how to reroute and figure some stuff out. Like just like this morning, like going to work, I stayed up to 5 a.m. doing way too darn much. I got my new little Facebook group where I am promoting only Project Reach the World. Like Project Reach the World, my fusion of my art and my music, because I'm an artist and I must create, like for real. Like, and if you don't watch it, it means nothing to nobody, because what's a painting that nobody looks at? What's a song that nobody listens to? It's nothing. And that's what my art has been, because people don't appreciate it, watch it, look at it. It's like I make it and it's pushed under a rug somewhere. Though I try to present it to the world, I don't know. I'm tired. Like I am for real a struggling artist. But I always try to reroute whatever. So I stayed up last night. I am in the Wealth Fit classes. I have taken a couple of classes. Y'all should check it out. It is cool. I got a 14-day free trial. I've taken classes on entrepreneurship. I took classes on how to start your own podcast. Like maybe I should try that, like instead of YouTube, because you know when I can't pull myself together, like I got a face for the radio. Plus I got a voice, so maybe a podcast is the answer. I don't know, but I've been taking a lot of different classes and stuff like that. Classes on how to try to think more positive and things like that, and just always trying to learn something. I'm always trying to figure something new out. So I got my little Facebook group. I was working on that, tending to that. Actually, Project Reach the World is no longer just about Marchello Jackson and my art. I want to share other people's stuff. So in the group, I'm sharing if you have your change petitions, if you have your GoFundMes, if you have, it's some people in the group, they have books for their loved ones. Their loved ones wrote books and they're actually trying to put those books out there. They're out there for real and they're actually marketing them and stuff like that. We have coaches in the group and it's like we're trying to, I want to showcase everybody, like everybody, because I was the unheard artist. Like when I was doing music, I was unheard and I was the unseen artist. Like, and that really bugs you. Like when you're doing something and nobody is receiving it and you know it's good. Like I am definitely not trying to toot my own horn, but I have a gift. I have a special gift that I do not see too often. And it's like, I know if people would just stop for a minute and really pay attention to it, you would be in awe. I'm actually in awe of my own gifts, but it's not me. The gifts flow through me. They just flow through me. They just, one day I was like, hey, I wanna write a song, and I wrote a freaking song that was really good. One day I was like, hey, let me try to draw, and I picked up a pencil and I was really good at it. So that is just a gift. It's just give it to you. It's in you. You have it. So you use it. And I use it. But it's like, it's not meant for me just to look at once I use it. And I know that plight. I know that plight of sharing a freaking change petition over and over and over. And people really don't want you sharing on their page. And it's like your petition can't get big unless people are sharing it or looking at it. Like freaking look at it. It took 1,000,000 years to type. I got carpal tunnel. It took me literally, when I made my change petition, something is in my eye. When I made my change petition, I literally took, oh my gosh, I took almost a whole week to write it. I pre-wrote it. I edited. Y'all know I can't say that word. The past tense of editing. I did that. And then I typed it, but I peck typed because I have carpal tunnel and my hands, they start feeling like electric shocks and stuff. So I can't type like this at all. No, baby. All them long messages you get from me, all them long emails, baby, your girl is like this. Peck typing. Or I try to swipe on my phone like this, but my little old phone, like, it never says the word that I'm trying to say. So once I do the little swipe, I always have to go back, and it take a million years to edit. Eventually I need to get Dragon set up or something, because my hands are like crimped up to where they barely move. So if I am typing you an email, it probably took me a whole day to type that email to you, to be honest. But with Dragon, I probably could move a little faster, or some type of software that's similar to it. I really need to get that so that I could be more like efficient or whatever. But yeah, so the whole point is spending all that time and nobody looking at it. When you have a loved one that is in prison and you know that they are innocent, and it's like, if the world could just see it, but everybody's like closed off. They're not even willing to even look. They won't even look at your petition. That's a hurtful feeling. And I've been through that hurt for too long, to the point where I'm like, you know what, baby, let me make my own group. Let's all grow together. Like, I see other people that are, they need the the spotlight to be shined on them as well. Let's do it together. Hey, you ain't no spotlight on me, so you shine the spotlight on me, I shine the spotlight on you, and let's make it together. Forget everybody else that's trying to just, they trying to move up, but they not trying to pull anybody else up with them later for that. This group is about everybody and all of their projects, and we can move mountains together, but it's not a lot we can do alone. So that's what the Project Reach the World Facebook group is about. And I was up working on that and taking my little wealth fit classes and stuff like that. So I didn't go to sleep. I think I went to sleep 5 a.m. this morning. So I had to be to work by 10. Like, is that really... I put myself in the most awkward positions, but that's a bad position to be in. Like, for real. Like, I should have carried my tail to sleep, but I didn't. I stayed up hustling all night long. Then it's time to get up. I think by the time I went to sleep, I slept on and off. I may have gotten maybe 3.5 to 4 hours of sleep, which made me drag all the way through work. I barely made it through work. Barely. I barely got through work, but I did. I got through work, yawning and everything else. But heck, I had my little mask on so they couldn't see me yawning and stuff. So after that, I had to do my friend's hair. I had to twist his dreads or whatever. Actually, you know what? He is also an artist that needs to be seen. This man, oh my gosh, he does music. He's a producer. He's a DJ. He makes the beats. He mixes, masters. He paints. He does some of everything. He raps. Everything. And it's like he gets shine and notice and stuff like that. But this man should be extreme, like way bigger than he is. He has too much talent. And I'm going to link that in the description box. I have another video where I reviewed one of his pieces of artwork and stuff. And I'm going to put that in the description box. Y'all check that out. Like, it really hurts an artist's feelings, to be honest, when you don't check out their work. Like, for real. It does. It hurts. It hurts, girl. Hurt my feelings. So please, we all finna support everybody. So then at the last minute, when I'm about rest to go to bed, like for real, I'm like, oh shoot, it's getting 3 a.m.-ish, 4 a.m.-ish. I am going to pay for this tomorrow. And I may not. This is where I could actually oversleep and not make it to work. Like my big old grown self oversleep and having excuses of why I'm not at work. So I'm like, let me make a TikTok video. Like, why am I making TikTok videos in the middle of the freaking night? Like, why? Why didn't I do that like much earlier? So I'm like, oh, I got to get this TikTok video out because I finally got that Christina Randall. I did a project Reach the World for her. I did vlog that, so I'll be editing. I will edit that one together because I got a lot of pictures of my step by step and stuff. So I drew her, and then I put it in an envelope. I actually drew on the envelope so that, you know, it can kind of stand out. I don't know how much like fan mail she gets or whatever to her P.O. box. So I want mine to stick out a little bit. Inside of the envelope, I did put a copy of my Prisoner Family magazine. Like, for real, y'all, I'm trying to distribute this stuff. We gonna figure this out. Like, we gonna get our stories out some type of way. So I got my first edition of Family United, my Prisoner Family magazine, meant to tell these stories of injustice that are underground. It's time to break through. It's time to break through. So I put that as a little TikTok video over one of my songs that I made called Single Mother by Force, Not Choice. Oh my gosh, that song, oh my God, that song really takes me back. So I don't know if y'all know the whole story of why I started rapping. If y'all don't, just drop a comment and then I'll leave a link or something like that. But pretty much I started rapping in 2005. And I was rapping because I wanted to get one song, just one song about Marchello Jackson being wrongfully convicted on the radio. And I thought that when it played on the radio, people would hear it. And then people would ask me, hey, is that a true story? And I'd be like, yeah, it's a true story. And it's like, oh, we got to do something about it. You know, just bringing attention. Once people are aware, if people really knew Marchello's real full story, like, it's some stuff. Like, I got the P.O. pulls lying, fabricating stuff. Then you got lack of evidence, no evidence whatsoever. I just was in a group where this guy, his wrongful conviction got turned over because of lack of evidence. There's no dang on evidence in Marchello's case. Not even fingerprints. Like, you gotta have freaking fingerprints. They don't have fingerprints. They said he used a weapon, but they ain't got the weapon. Where the is the weapon? Like, how you charging somebody for a crime with no weapon and no fingerprints? Like, that makes no sense. It makes no sense. But because you won't listen to me and actually, like, I don't know. Keita, it's not about that. But anyways, that was the whole point. I was going to make that song, get that out. And then I knew it would be overturned. Like, once people really learn this story, because people truly, most people have a good heart. And most people don't want to see somebody in prison that shouldn't be there. Like, honestly. So once I can break through all the noise, possibly, you know. So I made one song, but then I realized I was kind of good at it. So I started doing more songs and more songs. Now, I was a spoken word poet. Through my teenage years, I used to do spoken word poetry, and I used to do poetry and kind of perform it in the church. That's where I started, in the church. So I would do that, and somehow I kind of flipped it into rap later. I started rapping, but I ended up being pretty good at it. And I love to write because it releases. Like, if you write your feelings, like, write them down, just try it. Like, I'm actually starting to journal. I used to journal when I was in high school. And I'm starting to journal again because it's a release. I'm an introvert. I'm very much introverted. And I'm also a loner. Don't have no friends. Most family is kind of questionable. I don't hang all around family like that. And I'm just a person that's to myself. So when you are a person that's to yourself, most of the things that you go through, you have to. Is we doing this again? This is a vlog, so I'm gonna let y'all see all that. Usually I've been edited it out. But this is the type of stuff that happens. So since this is Vlogtober, we're going to be real. So, what the heck was I talking about? What was I talking about? What was I talking about, girl? Help me out. I had a whole point to this. Oh, I was talking about my music. So I ended up being really good at it. And I wrote this one song. Let me give you this quick story time. It really should be in a different video, but whatever, girl. We vlogging, so it's not going to be all clean and cut and everything like that. So because Marchello went to prison, we had all these different plans, like for real. Like the minute that he found out that our daughter Money was gonna be born, like we started planning everything. Like before she was even born into the world, we were planning her prom and her graduation and different things that we were gonna do with her. Like we would talk about her at all ages of her life and how we were gonna play out our lives and this and this and that. And of course, none of that played out, not at all. Because by 2 months after she was born, Marchello was arrested. He went to jail, to county jail, until I alone was able to get up enough money to post his bond. Then he was out for maybe 9 months with our daughter. No, it was 7 months with our daughter, which thanks to this angel, an angel came. This lawyer, oh my gosh, he came. Marchello didn't have a bond. So he came and got him a bond. And then I had to come up with the money to bond him out. If we had kept that lawyer, Marchello wouldn't have probably did not one day in jail or prison whatsoever. But, you know, unfortunately, we couldn't afford it. There is a price to justice. Justice is not free at all. And freedom ain't free. It's a high price tag that average people sometimes can't afford. So quickly, because we couldn't afford it, we had to go with, you know, that lawyer that is given to you. If you can't afford a lawyer, one will be appointed to you. Baby, most time that is the lawyer that you really just don't want. They call them prison deliverers. Because actually they act like they on your side, but they not on your side, girl. They on their side. They're actually against you. They're your lawyer, but they're against you. Like, isn't that crazy? But that's how our system is. Yeah, for real. And so we couldn't continue with this lawyer. So we ended up with him, which he kind of bagged it up. And he is the cause of Marchello being convicted. Like, had he kept his hands off the case, he probably would have had a better chance than him putting his hand on the case, because he sealed the deal. He was one of the ones that really actually sealed it, nailed it shut, and threw it away. He's a big part of why Marchello is there. So I overnight became a single mother. And I'm like, how? Why? This ain't what we planned. We planned to actually raise her together. Like Marchello, he doesn't have a father. I have my father. He doesn't have a father. He never knew. I think he said he kind of knew of his dad, but there was different like situations. It was kind of an abusive situation where he just wasn't in their life like that. So he always said that he was going to be the perfect father, like the absolute perfect father. The father that he wanted, he's going to be. And he actually started out on that note. And even through this incarceration, he stayed on that note. That boy, that man, is a great, excellent father. Whether he's out here or whether he's behind them bars, he's an excellent father. but nothing went like we planned. And overnight, I became a single mother. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know how to do. I didn't know when to do. I didn't know nothing. All I know is that, well, really, I went into a deep, dark hole of depression. And my mother pulled me out. She said, Kitty, you can't stay there. You can't. You have a child. You got to get up for that child. And eventually I drugged myself out that hole and I got up. But it was a struggle. It was a struggle. I can't even get enough breath. It was a struggle. Like I got to pull it from down here. It was hard, y'all. It was hard. Like it was hard, like difficult. When I was raising money, like he was paying for all the daycare. He was paying for her food, her formula. He was paying for her everything, like doctor's appointments, although what is the portion you pay? He was paying that stuff. And all of a sudden that was snatched. That was taken from us. So it's like, here, catch the ball, Keita. And I'm like, I'm not even prepared to catch a ball, like for real. So to figure something out, like I told you, I'm that plan B person. So I figured something out. I'm like, okay, so I'll just work overnight and I'll keep my own baby, because a daycare was sky high. I could not afford it. And if I tried to afford it, I wouldn't have a dime. So it was more logical to work overnight and then keep my own baby during the day. Okay, so I was doing that for a while, working overnight. Working overnight depletes you. It depletes every bit of everything you got. You're not supposed to, we were not designed to be up overnight at all. It messes you up. There's actually something called shift work disorder. It's like being jet lagged 24/7. It puts you in depression. A lot of my depression was stemming from just not sleeping, not getting serotonin, not horrible. Put me into a spiral. But that was the only way to work and take care of me and our daughter and still be able to watch her. So working overnight, I was able to bring home somewhat of a check, but if I worked a regular day, then I wouldn't have been able, most of my check would have went to daycare. So we wouldn't have been able to make it. So on top of that, I was like, I know I don't want to stay here. I don't just want to work overnight, keep my daughter during the day. I got to come up. It got to be a day that it gets easier. It can't stay here. So that's when my overdrive of trying to achieve, because I was like, I know I could get out this hole. I could become something. I might have messed up. He might have messed up. But we can pull this back together and we can become something. And that's when I got on the journey of, just trying to go to school. I was like, I was good at hair. So I'm like, I'm going to be a cosmetologist and stuff like that. And make money, like decent money. If I struggle now, later it will pay off. That's what I kept thinking in my head. If I struggle now, it will pay off later. Now, being my age and it never paying off, I see that, that kind of thinking, I don't know. It never paid off. It never did. So not only did I work overnight, once I got off of my night shift, I get home, money, she wouldn't be woke yet. I would creep in the door. And maybe an hour and a half to 2 hours later, she's like, wah, wah, wah. And I remember how she used to cry. This girl used to cry like this. She'd say, wah, wah. I remember her crying. That baby would get up, and that was all she wrote. So I got a nap, like that hour and a half when I got off of my midnight shift, when I just wanted to crash. I got like an hour and a half to 2 hours of sleep. Then whenever she took her little cat freaking nap, very cattish, like that's how quick that nap was. I got a little nap then. And then when my mother and father would finally come home in the evening, then I think I would get like 1 hour. I would rush off to cosmetology school like around 4ish so that I could get to the parking lot and just sleep for an hour before class starts. So if you add it up, it was no more than 3 to 4 hours a day of sleeping. Then I would sleep once I got out of school. I had like maybe an hour before my night shift started. I would get an hour there. And then when my 15 minutes break came, I would take a cat nap. Then lunch came. I'm quickly eating something, take a little 30 to 40 minute nap there, and then another 15. And it was an endless cycle over and over and over until I finally graduated cosmetology school. So it was so freaking hard. So finally, when the child turns 3, like I have been on the waiting list for 4C. It's a program that actually helps mothers afford daycare so that they can go to work, single mothers and stuff. But the reason I could never get 4C was because I was working. Like they're like, oh, you're working, so you make too much money. Too much money? Where I made too much money at? I can't even freaking pay the bills, and it's too much money. So because I was working, I made too much money. So I would just sit on the 4C waiting list for 1,000,001 years, like forever, endeavor. So as soon as someone come through and they are able to qualify for food benefits, then they're quickly put in ahead of me of 4C. And I stay on the list because I don't get food benefits because I was working. So it almost was more beneficial for me not to be working than to work, which is crazy. But I'm not going to be that person that doesn't work. So I still work, and I sat on, the 4C waiting list for years. And all of a sudden at 3, when she turned 3, no, I went to try to enroll her in Head Start, but I don't know what happened, but they denied her in Head Start. But soon after that, finally, her 4C came through. Maybe she was 4 when her 4C finally came through. So I waited on that list maybe 4 years and struggled working overnight, trying to go to school, everything, keep her. Like, I was running myself into a if y'all really knew what I'd been through, like for real. So when that came, it was like, yeah, okay, we're through the hard part. But then when she went to school, that was when it was harder because now she's gone, but I would come from work and I would crash and I would accidentally oversleep and leave her at school. And it was too many times that I did it, to the point where the teachers were starting to look at me like I was neglecting my child. Like,